Hello, I'm Ken Fobb. This is NewsNet, Baton Rouge. Grab yourself a tea or coffee as I go over with you headlines and news from our local area and region. You may recall earlier this month that BRPD detectives found a man shot to death whose body had been decomposing inside of his Scotlandville home. Well, recently, detectives concluded, after a thorough investigation, that this man was shot and killed by the man's girlfriend's teenage son. On Friday morning, police arrested a 16-year-old juvenile, and he is accused of shooting and killing 36-year-old Michael Allen. Investigators have concluded that Michael Allen was killed during a domestic dispute between he and his girlfriend, somehow at the hands of this juvenile. By law, the juvenile's name cannot be released at this time, but investigators say the teenager shot into Allen's house from outside and that there are bullet holes visible in a shattered front window of the home, which is located on Townsley Street, which is a residential neighborhood off of Scenic Highway. An autopsy revealed that Mr. Allen died from a gunshot wound to his head, and his death has been ruled a homicide. The juvenile was arrested for first-degree murder, assault by drive-by, and for being a juvenile in possession of a handgun. However, this investigation remains ongoing. A bicyclist in Baton Rouge was taken to a hospital and was reported to be in critical condition after he was struck by a vehicle on Friday morning. This crash took place around 9:30 a.m. in the area of Airline Highway and North Foster Drive. This particular crash remains under investigation. It is being reported that more than 20,000 unionized AT&T workers are on strike from Louisiana and 8 other states combined after a breakdown in contract negotiations. Of that number, more than 3,500 of these AT&T strikers are from Louisiana. Communication Workers of America, which represents the more than 3,000 AT&T employees located in Southeast Louisiana, filed an unfair labor practice charge with the National Labor Relations Board against AT&T, alleging that AT&T refuses to bargain in good faith and did not send representatives to the bargaining table who had actual authority to make decisions. This strike, which involves technicians, customer service representatives, others who install, maintain, and support AT&T's residential and business wireline telecommunications network in the states of Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee, officially began at midnight on last Saturday. But before the strike began, AT&T Southeast had been negotiating with the union since June 24th of this year on a contract that eventually expired on August the 3rd, but had been extended while negotiations continued. AT&T Southeast members had already voted in late July of this year to strike if an agreement was not reached by the time the contract expired, which it has. I will keep you posted with updates, so continue to join me. Finally, a Louisiana man has been arrested for cruelty to animals. He was arrested for animal cruelty because he's accused of viciously killing a young alligator in one of the state's designated wildlife management areas. The Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries said on Friday that 23-year-old Clayton Voorhees has been arrested for killing an alligator on June the 1st at the Bayou Spring Wildlife Management Area in Avoyelles Parish. Officials report that Clayton Voorhees visited the area with 2 other people identified as 22-year-old Joshua Walker and 55-year-old Jules Walker. They say, get this, while at the Spring Bayou Wildlife Management location, Voorhees bit the head off of a 12-inch long alligator while the other men watch. Voorhees has been charged with aggravated cruelty to animals and for taking an alligator during a closed season. Joshua and Jules Walker were also ticketed for being in possession of an alligator. Aggravated cruelty to animals is a felony, and it carries $5,000 to $25,000 in fines, and it carries 1 year up to 10 years maximum prison time. Taking an alligator during a closed season and illegal possession of an alligator both carry a minimum fines of $400 to $950 with up to 120 days in jail for the criminal charges. These have been headlines and news from our local area and region. I'm yours truly, Ken Fobb. See you next time right here on NewsNet, Baton Rouge.